Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Jay Tanner, and today I want to talk about the live-action Monster High movie coming in October. Em and I made a reaction to the trailer that released. Unfortunately, the footage got copyright claimed, which is annoying, but I'm going to try to work around that the best I can. Anyway, Mattel has been trying to reboot their old properties lately, including Masters of the Universe and now Monster High, with varying success. This is the second time Monster High has been rebooted. The first time wasn't very well received. It was targeted towards younger children than the original line was, so they made everything softer and it felt like they took the bite out of Monster High. I thought the cartoon that accompanied it was alright, but not anything special. So now we have the second reboot. Initially, we weren't pleased with the posters that were revealed depicting the characters, and the trailer that released did not put our fears to rest.
Don't listen to Cleo. She's got mommy issues.
Excuse me, what?
Most of the characters seem unrecognizable, with either major changes to their designs or personalities. I know the movie is low budget, but maybe they could have tried a little bit harder. Cosplayers look better than these. Frankly, I think it would have worked better if they just had the original cast graduate from high school and focus on a new cast of characters, with the original coming back as alumni. Maybe that would be better than just rebooting the same characters over and over again. I'm not against making changes to an established property. I enjoyed the CGI He-Man cartoon, even though it is different from the original 80s show. I just have trouble getting behind some of these changes. The movie is about Claudine, who is now half human, half werewolf. She travels to the monster world hoping she can fit in better there. She's no longer into fashion and instead skateboards, and is more athletic than she was before. And in the trailer, she doesn't come off as fierce as she's typically portrayed. She meets Frankie and Draculaura. The only thing recognizable about Draculaura is her color scheme. She's now sarcastic with an attitude, and in a bizarre choice, they have her practicing magic, which apparently isn't accepted in the monster world and is seen as something humans do. Why would witchcraft not be accepted in the monster world but be accepted by humans, who kind of have a history of burning witches?
And what you burn apart from witches? More witches!
Do witches and other magic users not exist in this world, or are they not allowed? I don't know, I just don't understand the logic behind this choice. Maybe they could have made it so Draculaura was half vampire, half witch, but monster hybrids are frowned upon, like in Freaky Fusion. So even though she wants to embrace both sides of her heritage, she isn't allowed to and has to do it in secret. I think that would have made for better conflict than just magic is frowned upon. They also race swapped her, so now instead of being from Transylvania, she's Asian. But Asia has a lot of interesting folklore that they could pull from, like a Zhanshi or a Mananagal, which I think would have been more interesting and frankly more respectful than just race swapping European lore. Then there's Frankie, who's still friendly and naive due to being 15 days old, but still has major changes. Apparently Frankie's body parts came from geniuses exclusively. I wonder where they got the bodies. Maybe they were people who donated their bodies to science? Frankie's also going by they/them pronouns now. People are saying it's because the actor is trans. That also might be why they race swapped Draculaura. But it seems Frankie now makes it a point to introduce themselves with their pronouns too. So I'm a little confused why whoever created them made sure to explain gender to them but not basic social cues, since Frankie's still very naive and doesn't even know what a high five is. Seems kinda mean to do that. I guess I'll talk about Deuce next. Yes, that's supposed to be Deuce. I know, I hate it too. Not only does he not look like the character, he doesn't even look like a Gorgon. I guess they just don't have the means to CGI some snakes on his head, so instead they give him this beanie. And frankly, the design looks more like a knockoff of Jughead than anything else. It's like Monster High meets Riverdale. Not to mention all the personality the snakes gave him. I loved all the quirks they had, like when Deuce would feed them or play with them, or that one time when he kissed Cleo and then the snake kissed her forehead. That is too cute. They also didn't give him sunglasses, which is weird considering the fact that the sunglasses were supposed to keep people from seeing his eyes and therefore protect them from being turned into a statue. I guess these glasses can still block the magic, but the sunglasses also kept Deuce a little more mysterious. In the original, when he did take off his glasses, it meant something, but that's totally missing here. On top of that, they're shipping him with Claudine, and apparently he and Cleo broke up over the summer. Cleo and Deuce are the OG power couple of Monster High, and they've been through so much, including 3 breakups. Twice because of Cleo's toxic family forcing them apart, and once because of a misunderstanding. But after everything they've been through, they're just gonna have them break up over the summer? You can't just come for a ship like that.
Stop blowing holes in my ship!
Not to mention how cliched it is. Speaking of Cleo, she's basically the season 1 version of her, but without all the character development. Plus they made her main color be blue instead of gold, and I'm not really feeling it. So Cleo's just going to be the jealous mean girl whose ex is going after the new girl. I always liked how Cleo and Deuce could stand on their own, like in Ghoul's Rule when Deuce stood up against the race war between the monsters and the humans, and called Cleo out when she was getting swept up in it. So I hope they give these characters some depth instead of making them totally cliched. Then there's Laguna, who's arguably the biggest offender. She looks more like a discount Doja Cat than Laguna. She's now some kind of piranha monster from the Amazon, and her personality has been overhauled too. She's BFFs with Cleo and offers to eat Deuce. Like I was saying before, they might as well have made a completely different character. This just isn't Laguna, so why call her that? They didn't even paint her blue. They used body paint on other characters, why not her? It seems like they dropped her last name too, which I guess is fitting if they're not going to even make her blue. But what does Laguna actually have to do with this character? Sure, they're both sea monsters, but this franchise has lots of unique sea monsters. Saltwater monsters, freshwater monsters, ancient mythology, modern mythology, you name it. So I just don't think this character needs to be called Laguna. So that roughly covers the main cast. There are other major changes though, like Ghoulia can now speak English. Originally she and the other zombies could only moan, and they had limited mobility, which no longer seems to be the case. It also looks like Frankie is taking the role of genius for the movie, but I liked that they made Ghoulia the smart one because of the whole zombie eating brains thing. She's a zombie with brains. It flips the script and it's fun. Besides, they can have multiple characters with a genius level intellect. They're also getting rid of all of the accents. A lot of people were complaining that the accents were stereotypical and rude, and I can understand the concern with that. I'm pretty sure it was mostly so they could reuse voice actors, although I personally do like the idea of the accents at least. It helped show that Monster High was all about monsters from all over the world coming together, despite their differences. I guess we'll have to wait and see how the movie turns out, although apparently the finished product was actually leaked onto the internet, which is pretty unfortunate for the studio, but I'm gonna try my best to avoid spoilers until it's officially released. But overall, it just doesn't look like it holds a candle to the original. The costumes all look like something off of Party City Racks, and some of these choices just seem baffling. But maybe it'll work in the context of the movie? Well, those are my thoughts on Monster High the musical. What do you guys think? Were you fans of Monster High growing up? And how do you feel about the live action adaptation? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to our channel's members: Stutania, Tyrant Carnivore, Adam K, Shiny Orc Boy, The Rabbit Mancer, General Bolivar, Depth Charge Media, Samaru163, Gabby Hime, Sandy Martin, Verdant Range, Butcher7 Actual, Dash Hound, JVR, Hussyman42, Nixel, Eric Griffin, Phil C, Taylor Ramirez, Caleb Nelson, Shrike Z, Bandito Bane, Hunter Rose, Dakari the Professor, and Jacob Garcia, aka Lightning the Steam Tank Engine. Thank you all so much for your support. If you'd like to become a member, you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button. We also have a buy me coffee if you want to support us that way. But if you enjoyed this video, you can leave a like and subscribe to the channel, which helps us out a lot too, and it's free. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.